On one hand, there are health professionals who are suggesting drink at least 8 glasses of water every day. Whether the food you are eating is already having water or not, I don't think they care. Whether it is summer or winter or you're dehydrated, doesn't matter. They are saying you should drink at least 8 glasses of water every day. And here is Malik who is suggesting to take dehydrated foods. Is that a good suggestion at all? Do you really think that dehydrated foods is a good idea? Let us see. In this video, I will explain what is dehydration, why we should do dehydration, and how do we go about it. That's what we are going to learn today. So watch out. By the way, guys, I have provided chapters scrolling through from left to right. All you have to do is drag your finger from left to right at the bottom of the screen. You will see the titles of various chapters and you watch from wherever you want to see. What is dehydration? Let me understand dehydration in the first place, then we'll talk about whether we want to do it or not. Well, dehydration, as the word indicates, is basically removing water. Where do we remove the water from? In the foods that we eat. Naturally, in the nature, most of the foods are hydrated. They have a lot of water content. It is said that 80 to 98% of what we eat contains water. So, dehydration is the process by which you remove most of the water and make it dry. That is dehydration. And why do we dehydrate? Well, really speaking, if I want to be honest, just for the sake of pleasure, for the sake of pleasure on your taste buds and in your mouth, how you feel the texture of it, how you find the taste of it, that is why we do dehydration. Honestly, I do not think that dehydration is a healthier option than eating foods which are naturally hydrated to whatever extent they are supposed to be. Almonds and dry fruits are dehydrated to a certain extent, hydrated to a certain extent. A watermelon is hydrated to a certain extent. They are healthier options to eat them, consume them in that fashion. But why am I recommending dehydrated foods? Just for the fun of it. Guys, let us accept. Do we really do everything that we do in the best possible way, in the best optimal way? Not necessarily, right? We do a lot of things for the sake of pleasure. And I am okay with doing certain things for the sake of pleasure as long as it doesn't overkill the very purpose of eating, which is providing energy and providing nutrition to the body. So that is why I think dehydrated foods are good. So what exactly are the benefits of eating dehydrated foods? For one, the taste in the foods is very intense. Now this is This is dehydrated ripe mango. In the season, I dehydrated these mango strips. Actually, they are not strips, they were reasonably medium sized large pieces, which after dehydration become thin and small like this. Now, when you dehydrate, since the water content is removed, therefore the taste becomes a lot more intense. Anything that you like, if you pour a lot of water, what happens? The taste gets diluted, right? Here we are doing the opposite. We are taking away the water, therefore the food items that we eat in terms of taste, they become extremely intense. The moment I opened the lid from this bottle, the aroma is overwhelming. The second benefit is the crunchiness. Crunchiness, did you hear it? Yes. Most of us like to eat foods which are crunchy once in a while. We eat cookies or biscuits depending on the region where you live. They are differently called. Basically, they are the same thing. The chips, various kinds of things that we would like to crunch under the teeth. It gives a very nice experience, don't they? And when you eat raw food, because you are not deep frying or roasting foods, you don't get that crunchy foods most of the times. Even if you eat dry fruits, they are not really crunchy. So to bring in the element of crunchiness, we dehydrate foods. The third benefit of doing dehydration is you can store that particular food that you like for a much longer period without any kind of refrigeration. They don't get spoiled. This particular ripe mangoes are from the last season, which I would say at least 6 to 9 months old, and they are still very good now. So the three benefits are: one, to intensify the taste; two, to make the food crunchy; and three, to store the items and be able to eat out of season, or you make it for one go and then you eat it in a longer period later on. Those are the real benefits of eating raw food. Eating dehydrated raw foods. I am still into raw food though. There is no exception to that, by the way. Okay, having understood what is dehydration, having understood why we should dehydrate, are you interested in knowing how do we dehydrate? If the concept of dehydration is something that interests you, then it is very, very simple. All you have to do is buy a dehydrator. Now, dehydrators are very expensive if you want to buy something really decent. I bought some cheap model which cost nothing. It's like dirt. It's very, very cheap. Yes, the quality is not the best, but it does the job. It does a decently good job. In terms of the quality of dehydration that you do on the food, I don't think there's much of a difference. But the convenience, yes, there is a big difference. So what you do is, in a dehydrator, how does it work? Basically, there is a fan at the bottom of the unit. The fan is continuously throwing out air. You can set different temperatures, but then we recommend less than 45 degrees or 47 degrees Celsius, because if you increase the temperature more than that, then it is not going to be a raw food and the benefits of raw food will be gone. So basically, you set the temperature at the dehydrator and you get a fairly decent hot air coming from the bottom, and you have ventilated trays on the top, layered one above the other. In each of these, you basically put your normal food, whatever you would have made. You would have made some cookies, for example. You might be wanting to dehydrate some fruits, for example, whatever it is. Put those in the layers which are on the top of the dehydrator, each of the trays. And then close the lid and leave it on for something like 12 hours to 24 to 36 hours. Yes, they do take a lot of time. And the food will not be spoiled because there is continuously air coming out of that. So when you leave it that way and keep checking, how the condition of the food is, you will notice that the food has become dehydrated, dried up. When the food has dried up to your liking fully, most of the water content is completely gone, then you stop, then take out these items and store in a bottle or any other container with a fairly tight lid. That's how it is done. Simple, right? Yeah, it is a 24-hour, 36-hour process or a 12-hour process, but then you leave it on and then go back to your work. Simple. So you have now understood what is dehydration, why we should dehydrate, and how do we dehydrate if you prefer to do that. Is this something that has interested you? Did I miss out something that is important? You felt about dehydration good or bad? Then please write down in the comments below what is it that I have missed out, and what is your opinion about dehydrating foods and eating in that fashion. Guys, if this is a worthwhile time that is spent on this video, if you like it, please click on the like button, subscribe to my channel if you haven't done already, and have a nice day or evening, whatever is left for you. Bye bye.